Everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech and Art. Hope you guys doing good. Today we will discuss about the newly configured SQL Server instance basic settings. Okay, so when you are going to build a new SQL Server instance, what are the basic mandatory settings which need to change, that we will cover up in this session. So before starting the session, I would request each and everyone who are newly joined on channel, please like to subscribe and don't forget to share. Please visit the channel playlist, more than 150 videos which can help you to day-to-day regular activities. Okay, I have covered a couple of questions as well, so that will helpful. If you are getting help, please like and subscribe. Let me open my document. So I have just created one small doc to better understanding. Okay, so when we are build the new SQL Server instance, so what are the basic level this configuration setting which need to do actually. So the first setting is the SQL Server max memory settings. So by default, SQL Server is allowed to use the 2 petabyte maximum server memory. Okay, this is one of the question, also interview question, what is the default memory setting for SQL Server? So we can say the answer like 2 petabytes. Okay, so that really need to change according to the based on your SQL server memory. I have already covered in another video what is the formula to figure out the SQL Server memory for the particular instance. If you have running the shared instance, then you can divide by 2. You can go and check the video. Okay, so this need to change, first setting. Second is a database location, default location. When you are configuring SQL Server instance, if you are not changing the desired location, it will take the default location. So better idea, while doing the installation itself, you can change the exact directory for data log and backup. Then there is no required to do the later change. Okay, so that need to change during the installation only. So whenever you do the installation, as a pre-checks, you should figure out all those things. What should be the memory, what should be the the data log and temp directory. Okay, so this really need to change. The third is really useful things actually. Let me adjust this screen. So maximum degree of parallelism, this is one of the very critical parameters which need to change according to the need. It's one of the critical settings to the configure and set up. So just go with the thumb rule. Okay, for the max drop settings. Okay, this is the ideal thumb rule for max degree parallelism. Okay, so keep in mind, just simple, if you have a 8 logical processor, then you can go with the use 8 max drop settings. If you have less than 8 or more than 8, whatever, then you can go with that number only. Okay, so if you have less than 8 logical processor in one means like one physical one node, then you use the number of instead. So basically go with the logical processor, what are the logical processor assigned for that particular VM, go with that only. So this is one of the critical setting for max degree parallelism. You can change it by right clicking the instance, and here you can see the max degree parallelism. You can change it, and you can change it command as well. Temp DB, this is very critical things and very basics which need to change after the installation. From SQL 2016 onwards, during the installation only, it's giving the option to create a number of tempdb files. Earlier it was not. So from 2016 onwards, you can create a multiple tempdb file during the installation. So tempdb file grows are by default set in a percentage modes, that need to be changed. Okay, and it should be unlimited tempdb files percentage. By default, it's setting the percentage wide. Tempdb should be separate drive, preferable on a SSD, and at least 4 files required, as for the better performance. 3 things need to require for temp database. First is the auto growth should by default it's percentage, that need to change. Second, there should be a separate drive for temp database, and that's also 4 files at least required. Okay, so data files should be in equal size. Let's assume you are your one data file size is like 150 GB, then ideally all the 4 files should be 150 GB. Log file you can take it other ways also. Log file you can take it different size also. So these are the 3-4 components which you need to configure for temp database. Okay, service account by default set as anti-service. Okay, that need to be changed. Okay, so this is also one of the pre-checks. When doing the installation, you should have a proper service account prior to the installation. During the installation you can put the service account. Okay, no need to do. If you don't have, you can change it later also, and that you can do the validation part also, right? So whether the service account configured with the proper service account or not. Dedicated service domain account, and which should have the file system level access, and that service account having the file and system level access. If you don't have access, services will not start. Okay, it will fail. Port, one of the major things here. The SQL Server use the by default 1433, we all knows. Okay, that need to change according to your defined port. So you can change the port TCP/IP setting under the server network configure settings by opening the SQL Server Configuration Manager. So you can go here and you can change the TCP port, and it's a dynamic settings. So not so you need to change the restart the services to getting the impact to service level. Okay, so that need to do. And the 7th is SQL Server models database setting. Here also you need to do couple of things. As you have set the default database file location to instant level, now you also need to set the default database settings. For a newly database you create, there are a lot of settings which can which can change it as per the criticality. That will give you the benefit for longer time. Okay, so you can set the initial size of model database 10 GB at least, and auto growth 1 GB, because it will give the better performance. You can also make the database level setting like read committed, snapshot isolation level, and the newly introduced features database settings like max stop and the LCE option. Okay, so these 3-4 components which need to change in a database level setting also. Okay, and there are more components which need to figure out based on the requirement, but these 7 points there are very basics which need to change or which need to verify after the creating the SQL Server new instance. So hope you got the points what I'm trying to say. Whenever you do the installation, either you can verify the pre-checks, and post installation you can do the validation these 7 components whether all are properly or not, because otherwise it will create a performance issues. Okay, so well, that's it for today. We'll meet soon again. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.